Yeah, so
history before back in
he's going
Chicago.
to be he's going to be the biggest free agent priority.
Well, he's got issues. You've got Terrell Owens and Ocho Cinco were their number one and number two receiver last year, basically, and they're both essentially gone. Terrell's out with ACL surgery, and
Yeah,
I I don't think Ocho Cinco's coming back. This is a team that's changing. This is a team that's in rebuilding mode. It's a team that tried, maybe kind of took a shot last year, and now they're in rebuilding mode. And what do you do when you're in rebuilding mode? You trade away guys that are established and guys that don't want to be there, and you try to bring in guys that do want to be there. And you try to bring in draft picks. That's what they could do. Carson Palmer is the best opportunity for the Cincinnati Bengals to turn this thing around quick.
yeah. If well, again, if he it depends on his move, and I don't know. Again, they've got a situation to where he's kind of they're leveraged on him. So I mean, there's if he decides to retire, it's probably the best bet. I don't know. Let Dalton take over.
Well, Dalton's going to take over regardless. I just
Yeah.
think from everybody's standpoint, the best move is to just give Carson Palmer what he wants, trade him, and get something for him rather than just hold your arms and hold your breath until you know
He makes a
everything gets
decision.
better.
Okay.
He made the decision. He's gonna retire.
Oh, okay. So he did.
Looks like.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's nothing firm yet, but he said he won't play for the Bengals, and that hasn't changed.
Okay.
So
So
if he,
basically, it's like either way, trade me or I don't want to be here. Okay.
basically,
Yeah.
speaking of retired quarterbacks,
Oh
that
no.
name
Oh no. Oh
I
no.
can't say it.
You can't, but
That
everybody
name
knows who it is.
every year
Oh, he's like a bad penny.
keeps coming back.
Oh,
Brett
Lord.
Favre.
I guess the lawsuits are all finished, right?
I don't know anything
He's
about.
all ready to rock like Eminem or something.
I don't know what's going on with that.
all his
Brett
lawsuits
Favre.
covered.
You know what? I'll say this about Brett Favre. I know you're biased. You're a Bears fan.
No,
Brett
no, no.
Favre.
I
Brett
mean,
Favre is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game.
you know what? I can't take anything away. I mean, the man deserves his props. Again, not a Green Bay fan, but when you're looking at, I'd like him to be on my team. Not a problem. I mean, he's just
I mean, I used to
great
think it
to
was
watch.
Marino, and maybe if I had a season where I had to go with a quarterback from pole to pole, I might go with Marino. But Favre is probably the best quarterback of all time.
Yeah, I could see that.
And honestly, there are teams out there where I look at the depth chart and I see they have a quarterback. And if I had a chance to bring in Brett Favre, if I'm Tennessee,
Right.
if I'm the Titans, and Vince Young is gone, if I've got this kid Jake Locker who's got some accuracy issues, but he's a guy who's mobile, he's kind of a gunslinger, kind of people have compared him, to Steve Young,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of quarterback. And Favre's got a little bit of gunslinger mentality. Hell yeah, I bring
Oh
Brett.
yeah, he has. I mean, he doesn't have the mobility he's had. Of course, that just comes with age. But he's still with an arm. He can really. He's just got that ability to thread the needle wherever he's at.
Well,
He
they
could
say
be
he
on
still
one
throws.
toe and do it.
They still say he still throws the fastball 98, 99 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's still able to get it in there. I mean, and even last season, he had one season I was watching on TV. They were talking 450-yard game last year. I mean, Brett Favre can still play quarterback.
If you got a team with a decent line that gives him any time whatsoever, and that's the beauty of it. He can make things happen. We've seen it before. I mean, and even though even with his where most guys have been retired for years now. I mean, you're looking at a guy who can throw off balance still and just pop it right in there.
I'll
But
tell you
again,
what, San Francisco looks committed to Alex Smith again
okay,
as quarterback. I take Brett Favre in a heartbeat over Alex Smith. I really do.
wow,
Alex Smith is a guy. He's the bust that nobody can forget about. I don't know why. Jamarcus Russell gets tossed into the waste paper basket. Vince Young, Matt Leinart, all these guys have been busts at quarterback and it's thrown away when the revelation occurs. They can't make the revelation. They can't find the revelation with Alex Smith for some reason in San Francisco. He's
well,
had plenty of
that's just,
opportunities. I'm not going to say the kid's had the easiest path. He's had more offensive coordinators than
yeah.
Brett Favre sent dirty texts, but
Oh, had
he's
to throw that in there, didn't you?
he's had a new program practically every year he's been in, and it's another new program with Harbaugh. But
Oh,
the
oh,
kid,
oh, oh, what? What was that name again?
I said Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, okay. Sorry, again,
Wait,
it's
you got a problem
like
with
a sharp
the?
stick in the eye
Hey,
every time I hear that name.
what's wrong with Jim Harbaugh?
Oh my
You
gosh,
have
he was
this
horrible at
irrational
Chicago.
hatred of Chicago athletes like Harry Wood and Jim
Oh,
Harbaugh.
God.
Explain to me the hatred of Jim Harbaugh, who was an All-Pro quarterback with the Bears, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, what was that?
No, he was an All-Pro
What
quarterback. I don't remember
what
if it was
season
a
was
Bears or
that?
not.
Maybe I don't know. I really don't.
Two
He
or
just
three.
he just rubbed the whole Chicago
Oh,
fan
so
base
you're
the wrong way.
speaking for an entire city.
I am.
Wow.
There's not too many people who really were crazy about him. And when he left, it was like c'est la vie. I mean, it was like him and Dave Wannstedt and both. You know.
Who replaced Jim Harbaugh? Was it Eric Kramer? Really? C'est la vie? Eric Kramer?
Yeah.
Eric Kramer was. Oh well, it's fine. You know, from my recollection, the Bears struggled to find a steady quarterback, until Rex Grossman and Kyle Orton and Jay Cutler now after Harbaugh. I mean, Jim Harbaugh to me. I mean, let me look at Jim Harbaugh's numbers. You
You
tell
just go right ahead and
the
look
people
at
more
those
why you
numbers.
hate Jim Harbaugh.
Look at his numbers here. What was his numbers here in Chicago?
I'm looking, but I think actually I was wrong. I think he was an All-Pro with
Yeah, it wasn't here.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, of
Still,
course. He just
still, good old number 4.
whatever.
Good old number 4.
Yeah.
Jimmy Harbaugh was geez, Jimmy now for me. Let's see.
You guys can
He
hold
left.
in the shower.
Hey, you know what? I'm bound to hold hands with him now. He's coaching my Niners, man. I gotta be a supporter of Jim Harbaugh.
Okay.
I just keep getting these cast-offs from the old Bears days. We had Singletary for a couple of years. That worked super well.
How did that work for you? Yeah, thanks.
You know what? Mike Singletary was a great defensive coach. It's just he didn't really realize the fact that, Mike, you have to play offense. Well, I was winning with defense.
Well, that's how the Bears won a lot of games.
Well, I understand that, but
we didn't have a quarterback. We had to win with defense.
It's kind of a two-way process to win NFL games, not just linebackers.
The intimidation factor. I mean, and there's no ref that's going to go toe-to-toe with him and look at him.
Well, not for nothing, but Singletary's got the glance still. He walked out there with a sweatshirt. He had a wooden cross around his neck that was about 3 feet long.
Oh, yeah.
And he took that to the ref. So, yeah, I understand. He's a little intimidating. But that being said, Mike, you can't start a linebacker at quarterback. You can't have, Patrick Willis can't play both sides. This is not 1940. This is not, they got to wear helmets, buddy.
Okay?
Got to wear helmets, buddy.
Get used to it. I mean,
He's a little too. Mike Singletary's a little too old school. They got to wear pads and helmets. All right, it's kind of mandatory, man.
He was schooled by Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka. What do you want?
I want a guy who maybe evolves a little past that.
Rub some dirt on it, walk it off. Okay, it's hanging there.
All right, listen, Harbaugh. All right, Harbaugh wasn't spectacular. Won 3,000-yard season with Chicago in '91. Started all 16 games. But
are you gonna? Wait a minute. Keep going. Yeah. Keep going.
What? He wasn't horrible.
He wasn't worth the money they paid him.
I don't know how much money they paid him.
Whatever it was too much.
That's nice. You went from, what was him or Mike Tomczak? Come on.
I would have taken Tomczak. I would have taken Tomczak. I would have taken Carnival. What was
like I said,
Carney or whatever his name was?
This is why you people never win anything in Chicago. In baseball. In baseball. That's why you don't get anything. That's why the Cubs don't get anything.
We're talking football, baseball.
All right. Well, when was
There's
the last
no teams that win anything in baseball in Chicago. We're used to it. Oh, I forgot the White Sox.
When was the last time the Bears won the Super Bowl?
1985.
Thank you very much. All right. It's been a little while. You know why? Because you people don't deserve it because you're very mean to your athletes. And I say that as a New York fan.
Excuse me. Yeah, well, whatever.
Why? What? It's not. I'm not from
you guys
Philly.
Turf at your players. Don't even
I'm not
start.
That's Philly.
That's Philly.
That's Philly.
Where'd that ball come from? Whack.
That's Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's Billy Buckner.
That's no. I'm saying that's Philadelphia fans who throw things. We're peaceful, calm. We're gentle, fuzzy bunnies in New York.
Whatever. Yeah.
We are. Listen. First off,
what are you talking about? The Yankees or the Mets?
Well, nothing happens at the stadium because all the ruffians can't afford to get in anymore. We just sit there and watch stuff and throw stuff at our TVs. I mean, we can't get in there
That's
anymore.
pretty much the way it is out here with the Chicago Bulls.